For people looking to get into their first business venture, the systems and support on offer from a franchise make it very appealing. Now, because it's a great entry into business, we find that buying a franchise often marks a life change, whether it's a sea change, tree change, or career change to kick off the new business. No matter where you're coming from, one thing is for sure, buying a franchise is a life-changing decision. Hi, I'm Ep17 and you're watching The Franchise Show. Now, we've all considered what it'd be like to make a huge life change. But there's always that question, is the grass really greener? Well, we meet one Sydney-sider who decided to swap the city bustle for the calm of the country. And he says it's the best move he's ever made.
The old saying, location, 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 doesn't just apply to property. You'd be surprised how many people take a sea or a tree change to start a business in a new area where they see a real opportunity for success. Today, we're talking with somebody who traded in the busy lifestyle of Sydney to take up a mobile coffee route in Tamworth.
G'day, I'm Steve, the franchise partner for Cafe to You, based in Tamworth. If you've seen the movie Groundhog Day, you pretty much know what I do. Same place, same time every day. I get up at 4:30, go turn everything on, load the pie oven. At 5:30, I leave home. Same route every day. Don't have to steer the van anymore, it knows where it's going. 36 stops, takes in over 60 businesses.
Steve, tell us a little bit about what you were doing before you made the move and bought the business.
Before I bought the business, I was a production manager for a defence-related company in Sydney called Talith. I ended up getting a redundancy from that job, and the redundancy helped pay for the business.
Steve, so why Tamworth?
Tamworth because it's a major regional business hub. A lot of outlying towns and whatnot do their businesses here, a lot of agriculture. There's nothing close to Tamworth with these sort of facilities they have here, and it's close to where I was born and bred, and I feel more comfortable here than in the city.
In your mobile coffee business, you're on the road a lot. I imagine you don't miss the traffic of Sydney.
Sydney's just way too busy. It just takes too long to get anywhere. The hustle and bustle is just, I don't consider it very livable. And I didn't want to raise my kids there, so we got the hell out of town, I guess. We've been here 6 years now, and the wife and I, we still high-five each other when we watch the traffic reports on the news and we see the bank up on the M4, we just high-five each other instantly. It's just vindication of the move.
So what are the benefits of doing business in a regional location?
You get to see people more often. They socially just run into them per chance more than you would in the city. You get to know people better. See more often, know them, Peter. You just have a lot more fun with them because country's a lot more laid back than in the city. There's no hustle and bustle and people are just, more casual.
How have you seen your lifestyle change as a result of moving from Sydney to a regional location?
More laid back, got more time to do everything. I'm not travelling to an hour and a half each way to and from work.
How did the kids take the move?
It didn't affect them a lot. Sure, they had friends in Sydney that they miss, but they've made friends here pretty quickly because, they've got that laid-back attitude as well.
So if you had the chance to do it all over again, would you go for it?
In a heartbeat. Yeah, absolutely. When I first started, I was paying the business off, and that's before we sold our Sydney house, and that's why I had to hit the ground running and work a little bit harder. Particularly in the winter, I work 6 days, sometimes 7 days a week. Dan? Excuse me. I've got about 12 of my competitors' businesses, and I never called on one of them. It's the reputation I've forged and the relationships I build, and they call me. And the first couple of years was a hard slog. Just hang on. It's a phone order. Pat, no worries. And he just sends me a picture of a coffee cup. And that's at the next stop. I just pass it through a window and away I go. So, and that's the type of relationships I was speaking about before. But there's all the business things you don't think about when you jump into it, I guess. But you can't go without any of them. Besides stock, stock's a big one. I put in a $1,000 order every week for stock for coffee and syrups and chocolate and all that sort of stuff. Insurance is a must. Maintenance for generator in the van. I've worked hard from day one of this business, but I've always been confident. I never knew it was this much fun. I mean, you'll see it today. I smile every stop, everybody smiles at me. It's just that the friendship we built up over time from the very first day. 6 years and 1 month ago, they've been my customers. But if a competitor called on them, they'd rather go out and get a coffee. They said, no, this is Steve's place.
Well, there you have it. A tree change might not be for everybody, but as you can see from Steve's story, moving to the country was nothing but a success.
If you're looking to change your life for a career as a franchisee, make sure you learn about franchising itself. Did you know Griffith University's Centre for Franchising Excellence offers heaps of great materials to get you the knowledge you need to do your due diligence and research just like a seasoned professional. They even have free online courses designed to help you assess franchise business opportunities.
We've got more tips and great insight coming up right after this break. You're watching The Franchise Show. Ever dreamed of making the change from a 9-to-5 worker to being your own boss? Well, being a small business owner can be a double-edged sword because with greater flexibility comes greater responsibility. Up next, we're going to find out how to create a balanced lifestyle as a franchisee.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Gillam, founder of Franchisee Success, and today I'm going to share my top tips on how to have a balanced lifestyle as a franchisee. I know in my case, I was working for somebody else, I was a wage earner, but I welcomed the opportunity to own my own business, to set my own goals and set myself challenges in a proven system and format. I see this time and time again, it's, well, I'm my own boss, I set the own rule, I don't have to come in, I've spent all this money to set up a franchise, to set up a system, I'll just let, the kids run it. If you bought a Ferrari, would you just let the kids take it out of the garage? No, what you'd do is you'd be in the car and you'd teach the kids how to drive the Ferrari. And the same goes for franchising. Yes, you can set up a leadership team that doesn't require you to be in there all the time, but you have to train them and lead them in how to run your business very, very well. You have to be really strict with your timetabling and your scheduling because if you don't, you'll soon find that the business is running you and you not run the business. So when you start your business and you own your business, you need to set what's really important to you in as far as what your day's off, what time you're going to spend on certain functions. Because if you don't, then you're spending all the time in the business and you're not getting the freedom that you potentially thought you would get when you first bought the franchise. The secret is in doing the due diligence before you actually buy in to make sure that you've got the turnover and the expected profit. You know what your break even is, you know what your profit's going to be. Once you know those two things, then you adapt your lifestyle accordingly. There's no sense in going out and buying the big boat and being on holidays constantly if your business is only returning at best $55,000 a year. That's not even really quite a wage for you. However, if you've done the research and your profitability level is higher than that, well, then you match your lifestyle accordingly. If you know what the major drivers of your business are, you share that with your leadership team and set them goals and targets to meet in your absence. That way you'll find they run the business as well as you would if you were there. And then that allows you the freedom that you can sometimes experience by being a franchisee.
Missed an episode? Catch up on all our stories on the website, thefranchiseshow.com.au.
One of the beauties of franchising is that it's an opportunity to enjoy new experiences. Now, a survey by a leading bakery franchise found more than 1 in 2 middle-aged men in Australia are considering a career change. And if you feel your current career is reaching the end of its shelf life, investing in a franchise can be a great way to take on a new skill or work in a different industry. Now, starting a business offers plenty of freedom about where you work. But if it's a sea change you're after, do plenty of research. Investing time understanding the health of the local economy and preferably aim for regional centres that are supported by a number of different industries. Be realistic about the likely demand for your product or service you're offering. Now, unemployment rates are often higher outside the big cities, and this will impact your ability to make a decent living and the likelihood of successfully selling your business for a healthy capital gain further down the track. Coming up, we hear from more franchisees who have made big life changes to get where they are today. Stay tuned. You're watching The Franchise Show. Welcome back to The Franchise Show. Now, coming up next, we hear from the CEO of one of Australia's largest franchisors about some of the hurdles currently facing the wider franchising sector.
Look, I think the accessorial liability changes that are being mooted at the moment are just wrong. It is very bad legislation. It is legislation that attempts to cause one party who may have no play in the conduct of another party to take liability. And I would have thought that at common law, it is simply wrong. It is inevitable that what will happen is that there will be liability, there will be franchisors in this country who will think twice before they continue on what they're doing. So bad legislation, and hopefully common sense prevails.
There's a huge challenge to franchising in Australia at the moment, and that's the proposed changes by the federal government to make franchisors co-employers of franchisee staff. There's actually no other country in the world that does that. It'll actually make Australian franchising the laughing stock of world franchising. Now, one of the interesting things about that is that Australian franchisors have built their brands on what they've learned from American brands coming to this country. You know, they're the biggest and the best at what they do. They'll stop coming. And in fact, they will close down or pull back their operations or stop growing. So that's not a good thing for franchising. One of the other challenges is that in making the franchisor a co-employer of the franchisee's staff, that means the franchisor has to pull back in the support that they give the franchisees. It's actually against the very thing that franchising is about, good practice in small business. So we're seeing it already that franchisors are saying, well, we're not, if we're going to be deemed to be an employer, we're going to pull back in some of the support and the systems we give. We're going to put distance between ourselves and the franchisee so that we're not deemed to be a co-employer. So franchisees will actually have less systems and less support.
What needs to be taken is a very objective look at small business in Australia. Small business in Australia is under pressure. This is not just a franchising industry. Without a doubt, there are people out there who underpay their staff. It is an abhorrent practice that we won't countenance in our franchise systems. We ourselves have very robust audit and measuring systems, but do we believe that our system is pure? There is not one person out there? No, we don't. But to simply target the franchise industry as the mooted legislation is doing is there's no other way to describe it as purely wrong. It's evil.
Worldwide, economies are starting to rebuild after 10 years of staggering. Every economy in the world that is starting to rebuild, including the US, is doing it on the back of small business. Small business employs over 70% of Australians, and franchising is the powerhouse of best practice in small business. So why the heck would a Liberal National Party want to snap franchising in the eye? I mean, that's the very engine room that'll recover this nation, not big business, not handouts. So we need franchising to be strong. We need small business to be strong. That's the future of this country. Do you know, millennials, under 30-year-olds, 82% of millennials want to own their small business. What a staggering figure. And we're not going to help them. We're going to make it harder. We're going to make franchising harder to succeed. This is the most successful franchising nation in the world. Why would we hurt it?
Hi, I'm Ian.
And I'm Denise. We've been in the Clark Rubber system for the last 22 years. We started with Campbelltown store, and then we recently opened the Penrith store 5 years ago.
Hi, I'm Ian.
And I'm Francine.
And we are the franchisees for Clark Rubber, Toowoomba.
Clark Rubber is a leading retailer trading across the pools, foam and rubber categories. With a proud history over the past 70 years, we're a well-recognised Australian brand. We have over 60 stores nationally with a strong opportunity for growth throughout all regions of Australia.
We were customers of another Clark Rubber store in our hometown, and we noticed that whenever we went there was always customers in the store.
We did a lot of due diligence, we did a lot of reports. When we had ticked all those boxes, we then moved our family to Toowoomba to open the store.
There is no typical day. You could be in the store, you could be out servicing pools, you could be customer deliveries, you could be doing any range of things.
Our focus on assisting our franchisees, providing them with the tools, training and key information means that they can focus on running their businesses and serving their customers.
Quality's there, the product's there. and of course our wonderful service is there.
Yes.
Which we're lucky to have good staff. We have very good staff.
We find that the people that are both within the system as well as the customers that we serve are great to get on with.
My favourite thing in our business is being able to relate to the customer and make sure they walk out of the store happy.
It's really rewarding when that customer comes back in a month, a week, a day, time for repeat business, basically. It makes it all worthwhile.
We're really excited about what the future holds, and there are a number of great opportunities for new franchisees throughout Australia. You can join us and reap the benefits of our successful retail model.
Coming right up, we talk to an accomplished franchisee who owns not one, not two, but 3 local businesses. Stay tuned. You're watching The Franchise Show. Now, it's true that opening your first franchise is a major life change. But just as challenging can be the decision to expand your portfolio and take on another business. Now, Brad met up with Adam. He's a multi-brand franchisee who shared his secrets for success.
Franchising is a great pathway to becoming a successful business owner. Many people find that the systems and support that's provided allows them to quickly grow their business. So why stop at just one successful business? Today I'm with a franchisee who has not only 1, but 3 thriving business concepts on the go.
Hi, I'm Adam, the franchisee of Dairy Farmers Armidale. Hi, I'm Adam, the franchise partner for Glory Jeans Coffees in Armidale. Hi, I'm Adam, the franchise partner for Pizza Capers Armidale.
Adam, thanks for joining us. Tell us a little bit about your journey before franchising.
Brad, before franchising, I grew up in retail, moved into hospitality, spent a lot of my time running bars, restaurants, bands, catering. The predominant side of it was the hospitality, I guess.
So what was the first business that you actually bought?
The first business that I bought was a Dairy Farmers franchise here in Armidale. I looked at the model and liked the model, but the local system wasn't working, so it gave me an opportunity to work with a fairly large company to redevelop that model and make it work efficiently, make it work for me, make it work for my family.
So what was it that gave you the confidence to back yourself to go into a second business?
I was happy what I achieved out of Dairy Farmers and got it to a level where it was sustainable and growing. So it gave me an opportunity, with that being strong, to move into the second one. I serviced Glory Jeans with my milk, so I was here delivering milk every day, watching how their team worked, watching how the model worked. So over the period that I was delivering, I was pretty much sussing it out. I went away, did some research, talked to some people. Now that I'm happy with the model, the fit was quite good, so it fit quite well into my lifestyle.
So the stages of 1 to 2, but what about the third?
I took a bit of time off and went down to the coast. The managers took over the shop and the shop ran really well. It gave me an opportunity to clear my head. When I did that, I started looking at other businesses. And once I did that, I fell in love with the brand of Pizza Capers. They offer an extremely amazing product. So the product's right, so what's the next step? We go and have a look at the model. We have a look what's behind Pizza Capers. Once I did that, it was a no-brainer.
What drove you and gave you the belief that you could just give that a go?
I think fundamentally I liked the models of the 3 businesses that I've chosen. It's not the fact that I just went out and picked a franchise and said I'll do that. I looked in depth to what those models are and how those models work. They have to be sustainable for myself, and they have to have areas to grow.
So how actively are you involved in the operations of each of the businesses?
The Dairy Farmers franchise, I would be minimally active. Understanding my skill set and where to allocate my time, I worked out that Glory Jeans is the key spot where I can talk to customers, involve myself with local community. And in Pizza Capers, I still do work in Pizza Capers, but I spend a lot of my time focusing on local area marketing with Pizza Capers. So looking at Facebook, looking at Instagram, trying to get top of mind for that business.
So what are some of the things that you've done to make sure that you're allocating appropriate time across the businesses?
Firstly, working with your managers, giving the responsibility to those people that are in charge of those businesses and delegating the jobs that can be delegated so that my time's not bogged down with the stuff that should be run by a manager.
Adam, with such a business footprint that you have in this community, what are the things that are crucial to their success in your mind?
Customer service is a huge factor in my business. And being in a rural town, I have the ability to connect with locals, know them by first names, know their coffee order, know their pizza order, create that loyalty around being local. People think, yes, we are a franchise, but we are supporting families here, and fundamentally, we are a local business, and that is the biggest driver in our business.
Adam, thank you so much for your time today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Brad.
Well, if you're ready to make a life change to achieve your business dreams, I hope you found some advice to help you along your way. I'm Ep17, and thanks again for joining us this weekend on The Franchise Show. We'll see you next week.